Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, Season 3, Episode 5. It's called The Penultimate Peril, Part 1. So, there's lots of Schmidt in this episode, which was really throwing me off. A lot of Schmidt.
Yeah,
Full
a lot
spoilers,
of
by the
Schmidt.
way, full spoilers for the episode. But a lot of Schmidt. What are we talking about? We're talking about Schmidt from New Girl, who plays the brothers in this, the hotel managers.
Yes.
All 2/3 of them. I said full spoilers. That's not. We're in spoilers. It's fine. So, Joe is funny about this is that it became quite clear at one point that there was probably a third one, and then I started laughing hysterically because the whole Quagmire joke that we've had since early last season about because one died, now they're twins, and so the twist here is that these are twins. It turns out there's a triplet.
It's very in keeping for the show.
It's very funny. This does feel like it's like the final story, right? Because everyone's showing back up. The judge, the principal, like all these characters are appearing. Of course, Poe's there because Poe's been a staple throughout. And finally, Lemony Snicket is actually in the story.
Yeah, about time.
In fact, the cliffhanger at the end of this episode is him getting out of a cab, walking up to the kids and saying, "Hello, Baudelaires, my name is Lemony Snicket," which is, he says my name is Lemony Snicket every episode. That's something we hear constantly.
Yeah.
Maybe not in part 2s, actually. Maybe only says it in part 1s, but he always says that in the narration.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
John, on that ending moment, did it linger on black for a lot longer than usual for you?
It did. It did. It definitely did.
Yeah, because it always does the eye closing effect, and then it closes and cuts to the credits. But it lingered so long that I thought something else was going to happen.
Also, is that only part 1s that does that? I don't think it does that in part 2s.
You might be right. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to look out for it on the next one, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So
part 1s obviously get the letters at the start.
Yeah, they get the letters at the start. But yeah, so they're actually recruited here as volunteers for a mission, because the final safe place is this hotel, and Kit wants them to go undercover as concierge, because no one's going to question why 3 children, especially one of them is a toddler, is the concierge. But that's okay. It's the logic of the show. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Because they want to find out if there's some sort of obscene plan. They know that Olaf's got the fungus. He's going to try and kill everyone. They're trying to figure out who this JS is. Is it someone pretending to be Jacques? Turns out there's about 50 people in this show with the initials JS.
Yeah, I'd never noticed it was that bad.
Yeah. So they keep going down that path. So Olaf doesn't know that either. And it turns out that Olaf has kind of been lured here as well. Like, this is part of the plan, is that the VFD want to put him on trial for everything he's done. Like, finally, these stupid recruits are actually trying to help these kids and, like, end this nightmare that they've been going through.
Yeah, it took them long enough.
I know. What have they been doing these last, I don't know how long it's been in show's timeline, but at least a few months since the parents died.
These last series of adventures.
Yes. So Judge comes back and she's got the book, the Olaf book, with all of these things. I like how the first title was like a play on the actual title of the show, but then the second one was not Olaf.
Yes, yeah. If in doubt, go with an acronym.
So I want to say how I was excited in this episode and how I was let down by this episode in the same plot. When Carmelita asked for a harpoon gun, I got very excited. I got even more excited when, one of the Schmidts actually took out a harpoon gun and said, "Here, go give it to the guest. She asked for it." And I'm like, yes, Carmelita's getting a harpoon gun. This is going to be the best. And then she doesn't really get to use it. That was upsetting.
I mean, it does get used, just not by her.
Just not by her, but I wanted her firing harpoons, alright? If there's one thing part 2 can do to appease me, is I need Carmelita to pick up that harpoon gun. She can shoot Olaf, I don't care.
Sure, why not?
Shoot whoever. It's fine.
She's the real mastermind villain of the show.
She is. Well, Olaf kind of gets sick of her in this one and tries to fight her, but my favourite part of it is at the start, they've lost the submarine, Hookie, which, by the way, one of my favourite little gags was Olaf saying, "Hookie's defected," and then Esme goes, "Well, because he doesn't have hands."
Yeah, that was good.
But then they're like, okay, we'll take the other boat, the Olaf, and I can't. No, it's the Carmelita 2. It's the Olaf. It's the Carmelita 2, and she gets really stern, and he kind of like jumps back. He actually flinches a little bit. And goes, "We'll talk about it on the way." And that was funny on its own. But my favorite part of it is that when they're in the hotel and they're taken up to the roof, he actually says out loud, "Take the Carmelita 2 up to the roof."
Yeah, it's got a plaque on the back. They stopped and made it a plaque.
Yes. Which is wonderful. But I love that he gave in, is what I'm saying. It really made me laugh. So Olaf kind of breaks up from everyone. The kids actually kind of talk him down. They stop him from killing Schmidt number 3.
Do you know what I will say is I was disappointed in the naming of the Schmidts. So there was the first one was I think it was Frank and Ernie.
Frank and Ernie, yeah.
Which were fine, right? And then they introduced the third one, which I don't remember, but it began with a D. And yes. I was particularly annoyed because they had an F and a D and then an E. Why not call the third brother Victor? You could have had a VFD of brothers.
Or Vincent, just for the disc comparisons.
Fine. Any name beginning with V. It really doesn't matter.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell
Missed a trick.
That's really weird, because obviously a bulk of the episode is the kids try to do their investigating, and they split up, and we get this kind of sequence where we see what Violet's side of it is, then we see what Klaus's side, then we see what Sonny's side. And I think it was during the second one where, again, there's a brother with Klaus, where I went, oh, there's going to be a third. Like, we're going to see Sonny with one as well, and it's going to be the hint that there's a third one.
It made such a big deal about the clock hitting the same time. What was the clock going just wrong?
Wrong.
That was cracking me up. But, it was making such a big deal about, okay, it's striking at 3, and they're with the brothers. And it's like, right, okay, I see where this is going.
Do you know what that wrong thing almost sounded like? It almost sounded like the Inception noise.
Okay.
The trailer.
Yeah.
Brum, brum. It always sounded like that.
Yeah. I can hear it.
Maybe not in the episode, but at least us try to mimic it makes me think of that.
yeah, I get what you're going for.
But yeah, so Violet goes up and sees Carmelita and Olaf and that, and she's hiding her face with towels, and she learns that because. The funny thing is that the harpoon gun thing felt like a random thing Carmelita wanted, because she wants to be quote unquote a tomboy. She's going through a phase.
Yeah, it was all these things it was like cowboy, pirate, soldier, something or other.
Well, yeah, because last two parters it was like ballerina, the veterinarian, princess. Yeah. It was like a whole combination of girly things. Now it's a whole combination of boy things. And I thought the harpoon was random, so I almost did a double take when they actually factored that into their thought process of like, okay, this is what the plan is, because she wants a harpoon gun.
That harpoon is essential to the episode.
It is, because they're going to shoot down the bird carrying the sugar bowl, and we almost find out what's in it, and then Olaf shows up and stops Schmidt from talking.
Damn that bastard!
I know, and it's this third Schmidt that's the father of Kit's child. Unfortunate though, because he's dead.
Yes.
Because the harpoon gun falls and shoots him.
Yeah.
And then Poe... Oh, by the way, I mean, it's not really been a thing as much this season, but I love that the gag about Poe never being able to recognise Count Olaf came back for this episode. Both at the table in the restaurant, but then again at the end when he comes out and catches this, he's like, oh, Baudelaire, it's you. You've just killed a man. I'm going to have to go get the manager. And then he's like... And yeah, there was some other man standing behind you. I didn't quite get a good look at his face.
Yeah. It plays into as well... him not recognising Sonny.
That's true.
He's like, oh, you remind me of another toddler, but why would a toddler be working as a concierge?
Oh yeah, my favourite part of that was when he looked down and said, oh, do you have secretary experience? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, yes, that was in the lumber mill.
Yes, she does.
That was a great callback.
Yeah.
A lot of characters popping back up. We kind of see them arrive. The principal's there, as we said. Klaus's story was about putting the fly paper out the window to catch the bird.
Yep.
So that was that, and then Sonny helped Third Schmidt put a VFD lock on the door to the laundry room, because that's where the bird will, or the sugar bowl, I suppose, more specifically, will land.
Yes.
Very complex.
It is very complicated.
I like this episode a lot though, because I like the as what I was saying last episode about how it feels like they're being more proactive, where they're taking a mission, they're doing something to win.
Yeah. And it was surprisingly strong when they all split up.
It was, yeah. It didn't feel like it suffered because they were all separate. They all had. There was enough characters now for them to all interact with. What's his face back from Arrested Development? What was his character in this? Jerome Squaller. And he's there in the sauna room, and that was a fun sequence. Olaf coming in and being intimidating, and I love how he explained the red on his suit, and the next one part was Sunny.
Yeah.
Because that was earlier in the timeline in that part, so that was a nice little sequence.
Yeah, let's not overlook this episode had what might be the most gruesome death of the show, or at least to me anyway.
Go on.
Larry, your waiter.
Oh yeah, Larry showed up and then died.
Yeah, he got drowned in boiling curry or something like that.
Yeah, it was boiling soup or something. Yeah, whatever they were making.
Like, what the hell? That's dark as shit. They just drop him in, and it's like, damn. Yeah,
for something that's obviously family orientated, right? Suitable for the kiddies.
Family friendly.
Yeah, we've had a number of deaths. We lost Kit. Not Kit, sorry, we lost Jacques. I meant to say Jacques. We lost Jacques.
Did we?
We lost Jacques Snicket, which was very upsetting because Nathan Fillion. We lost a librarian from last year as well at the end, eaten by lions, and then we've lost Larry.
Yeah, but like in a really gruesome, like not explicit, but just the idea of it, and enough just that they showed the body dropping in. It was more than I expected.
Well, I think that's the big thing at the end is when when they're standing up against Olaf and like standing in front of Schmidt to like stop the harpoon, and they're talking him down. It feels like, no, we're not standing for this shit anymore. We are going to talk to you as an equal. We're going to
I love how they're standing in front of Schmidt. It's like you're gonna shoot him. You got to shoot us first, and it's Olaf. He probably would, but I love that Sonny goes in front at the end,
and
Olaf reacts as if, oh, that's another one to shoot through. It's like she's like up to their knees.
Yeah, I love it because every time one steps in front of them, because at first it's just like Violet, and then it's Klaus, and it obviously goes one by one, and after the second one, he's like, "Oh, just sweeten the pot, just more people to shoot through." But what I like about this in terms of an arc for the kids is that they stop being the helpless victims that need saving, because that's how we start the show, is they need help because they're trapped with Olaf, and then that kind of continues and evolves throughout the show, and them standing up to him at the end, it's like, no, we're now part of the opposition, we're now part of what's fighting you.
Yeah, and it all comes down to what the third Schmidt brother, is telling them. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm offering you this like job guarding this library, right?
Yes, I love that this all led to the super secret library. That is like the most important library in the world, and has all the secrets of the planet on it.
And it's like, no, you become the new librarians, and they're like, but hey, that nice judge said we can go live with her, and he's like, well, yeah, sure, you can. I'm sure you'll be safe with her, but do you really want that?
Yeah, have you gotten a thirst for the adventure now after all this?
Yeah,
almost to a point where I almost wouldn't mind like a continuation of like a show of them just running this hotel and protecting the library.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
I would totally watch that. We could watch them grow up into adults and Sonny into a teenager.
Yeah, wow.
That's season 5 of what would you call it? You'd call it a sequel of Unfortunate Events.
You would do something stupidly meta, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. And Sonny will be their age by the time the show finishes, and they'll be, like 25 or whatever they're going to be.
Hey, it'll keep them employed for as long as they want.
Yes. But no, that was fun. Because you don't get to see the library till the very end, and it's like through under the water, the little pond.
Yeah.
You see it from underneath, which makes it look really cool because you got all the water rippling light.
It is
light
cool,
effects. Yeah. Oh, it's good. No, it's a good episode. And, Lemony being there was a really fun surprise, him being in the hotel. And then he actually interacts with Kit, and they're kind of catching up. And we hear more about the schism that broke the VFD into two sides at this opera, and how Lemony seems to be the one at the core of it that is to blame.
Yeah, and obviously the opera comes back into full effect because it's it's the idea of an accidental gun goes off, and I assume what happened here is what happened in the schism. Maybe it was a real gun by accident somehow.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But that was exciting, and he makes the choice because he wants to run, but he makes the choice to come back and help. So we end the cliffhanger is him coming back and being like, Baudelaire's "Come with me if you want to live," basically, to reference Terminator which is a classic.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's exciting because it's it's just the narrator of the whole show is finally like his part of the story is coming
do you know what? The first time when we see him in real time, in the present timeline, where he's just sat in the back of the cabin, he's doing one of his things. He's explaining something.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of seconds to realize, oh, he's actually there.
Yeah.
Because he's dressed up in different outfits and just interacted with the scenery a number of times in the past. And it was like just before Kit reacted that I went, oh, this is present day. He's there.
Yeah, he's got a different hair. I think they've de-aged him a little bit with some CG. Not a super amount.
Not a lot. Just enough that it took me a couple of seconds, though, to notice.
Do you know what's funny about it, though, is Patrick Warburton has looked very similar for a long time, so I don't even know if they needed to de-age him.
Yeah, you get away with it, right?
Yeah, I feel like I remember him like in like an episode of Seinfeld from the 90s, and I don't think he looked that different.
That is fair.
So, I mean, maybe
Aged
too much
gracefully.
effort. Yes, he's aged gracefully, yes. He's been this big hulky man for as long as I can remember. But no, that's super exciting because again, that makes me feel well rounded. I think the idea that whatever caused the schism coming back to him is what's kind of set up the fact that there is these two factions of the VFD and that there are these villains. The fact that he feels guilty for as the cause of all this, it kind of sets up why he's such a miserable, sour bastard. Every time he's like, "No, this is an awful event. Stop watching. It's terrible. Throw your streaming device into a lake."
Yeah.
Like, don't come back. Because the fact that he feels guilty, he's the one who thinks. And as much as obviously I'm assuming there'll be a happy ending, because even though they keep telling me it's going to be awful, it's still a lighthearted show.
It's worth noting he's investigating the mystery of what happened from the future. So theoretically he can't just sit down and ask them everything, right?
Theoretically, but at the same time, part of me thinks they could pull a dark ending, but I don't think they will.
I'm not sure which way because
I feel like it'll be dark from his perspective, but there'll be more to it that he doesn't understand until later.
Now, I know I saw a headline yesterday that said that the ending betrayed the books.
Oh.
And the problem is I can't remember which way the books ended. It's been so long.
Good.
They come back to me as I'm watching the story. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, this happened, but that hasn't come back to me yet.
Well, good. Yeah. We'll find out. We'll find out in episode 7. But episode 5 was good though. It feels kind of like the perfect culmination of everything. Like the kids having their own agency, the setting having all these characters come back, the kids being strong individually as well as a unit, standing up against Olaf, all these things, Snicket being a part of the story finally, all of it feels culmination, all of it.
Yeah. Something I feel is worth noting, especially in this episode, is the set design again. I think we mentioned it one season, but I don't think we mentioned it yet this season. The hotel in particular I thought was wonderful.
Yes, the Denouement Hotel, I believe, is the...
Well, that'll be the name of the brothers as well, then.
It will be. But I like saying Schmidt, so I split with Schmidt.
Yeah, the Schmidts.
The Schmidts. 3 Schmidts.
I'm pretty sure we're getting away with this, because that's all anyone else knows him from anyway.
Yeah, that's true. What else has Max Greenfield done? Not much.
He was a dick in The Big Short for like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he wasn't that. He's good at playing a dick, though.
He is. He's a very charming, smug dick.
Yes, that's his thing. That's his brand.
He's very good at it.
Yes.
It's why it worked here with, is he evil or is he really good?
So it almost, remember how I was saying last episode that I thought that the final episode might be more of an epilogue? I'm feeling more like that after this, because this two-parter from this episode at least feels like the finale of like the adventure.
It definitely does. The idea of like, hang on, no, Olaf's getting dealt with in this next episode, not in the last episode.
Yeah.
Well, theoretically. I wonder if the last episode is going to be more to do with Esme, perhaps. Because obviously, we got another little thing, more on the sugar bowl. What is inside? It was stolen from her. I think we heard this before last season. But just reminding us at this point towards the end of the show feels important.
Yeah, and her and Carmelita now are scorned and they're partners.
Yeah.
Which
also, you remind me of what might have been my biggest laugh.
Oh, go on.
Which was when the three of them were getting into the lift to go up to the room. And Olaf's like, can't we just ship her back to her parents? And Esme's like, no, we burned them, remember?
Oh, there was another joke. It was very similar soon before that. where Carmelita says, my real parents did everything for me. He's like, well, I didn't pay the ransom money. What was that? Nothing.
Yeah.
So quality jokes. That's per usual, but I think that the main plot almost took precedent in this one because it's the strongest it's maybe been.
There was still all these comical, farcical elements.
Yes.
In the best possible way that this show does. But the plot itself was actually quite intriguing.
Yeah. So also the idea of the Snickets being like a trio of brothers and sisters, of siblings, and obviously Quagmires are too, but obviously the Baudelaires are the main characters, is that it makes everything feel like it's all sibling related, and it's always sets of three.
Yeah.
It's the same with the Schmidts, 3 of them.
Yeah, it's why even down to the villains here, Olaf, Esme, and Carmelita.
That's true, because Hookie's defected, as we pointed out earlier, which I'm sure they'll come in saving the day. At some point.
God, I hope so.
He's going to be the star witness in this trial. We're going to have Hookie come in and like spill the beans on everything he's ever done.
I want all the hench people back.
I think we'll see them.
Yeah,
I think we'll see them. Yeah. So the woman with Jerome was the woman from the hospital who got really scared with the clipboard. Yeah, that was a great scene, which is why I laughed when she mentioned it. But she's also in love with the bank robber from the circus episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know, just all these weird connections were making me laugh. But yeah, so that's episode 5 of Unfortunate Events Season 3. We have the second part of this and then the finale. The next episode will be up in the day after tomorrow, so look for that then. Otherwise, that is us. You can let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. You can get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz. You can support us, of course, over in patreon.com/mailedfuzztv if you want to do that financially. You can do that on... Oh, I'm spelling things. But that is me. Thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?